How are you getting on, folks? Look at, I know it's been a little while now since I've been on here, but hopefully, we're going to be back racing and back fairly often now. There's some great racing coming up now over the next week or so, and things are going to really start picking up there now. Look at Fairyhouse tomorrow. There's some great racing on. There's some weak racing on as well. It's an 8 race card, but I'm going to be covering 6 of them simply because the patron is already after covering 2. So, just to keep things fair and everything else, I suppose, well organised, basically, we may as well crack on. There's some decent enough value there. There is a couple of odds on shots, but we're not going to be tipping them up as singles. We're going to try and work our way around them and try and, I suppose, make them as best value as we possibly can. But if we can land a couple of bets now tomorrow and land a few things right, that's exactly the way we wanted to go. First of all, the 150, that's one of the patron tips, so we're not going to be covering that for too long on this one. 1220 then is going to be one of my most confident picks of the day. Stohan Cross here for Thomas Gibney and Darragh O'Keefe. It certainly looks to be very, very interesting. It's coming up against Brian McMahon's Hawk Colburn, who, is a general consistent sort of a horse and does sort of like the ground. But I don't know, I think it's just not as well weighted as it possibly can be. People will probably be raising their eyebrows thinking of that when I'm tipping up Stohan Cross for being raised £8 for a neck victory in Navan last time out. But realistically, the two of them were well clear of the field, and realistically, £8 looks to be fair enough, and it should be well capable of putting in a very decent performance. Obviously, look at Darragh O'Keefe is definitely one of the best Irish jockeys around at the moment, really. Like, he may be only 19 or 20 years of age, but he certainly is definitely pushing for a champion jockey's title. Definitely, he will be certainly well on his way by another 3 or 4 years. Touch wood, hopefully he stays safe until then. But look, at Stohan Cross tomorrow is definitely one of the more interesting ones. The fact that Thomas Gibney has had a few winners recently and everything else like that, you would have to seriously consider him. And 3-1, I certainly would be taking him on board. 1250 then, I've looked as best I can for value for this particular race. I can't see it. Light Brigade should be well capable of winning this. I can't see Purdy's Gift to lay a real substantial glove on him. He's by far the most, I suppose, the most capable of this field, and he should be winning this doing backward handstands. But 1-4, you'd want to be crazy to be backing him. So what I've done, I just checked to see what the market would be like. Light Brigade and Purdy's Gift for a straight forecast like that pays out 2-1. So realistically, it should be finishing off in that order. Like, I can't see Purdy's Gift beating it. I can't see anything to trouble Purdy's Gift for second place. So realistically, you're better off doing the straight forecast, and 2-1 for a 1-4 and a 7-4 first and second favourite to finish 1 and 2. You're basically printing money, in my personal opinion. 120 then, another, I suppose, straight forecast, reverse forecast, whatever way you want to look at it. Like, it's definitely the most impressive race of the day. It's very, very hard to split the market. It's a hard one to call. I was hoping Dreal Deal would run, simply because I would have been probably betting him. But look, it's obviously diminished the quality of the field, and realistically, if Dreal Deal was in this race, it was definitely the standout race of the whole day between all the meetings. But the way I see things going, McConnell's horse is the only real front runner. I think he's going to start off in the lead. Sizen Potsy, Percy Warner and Lois Sun are probably just going to settle in behind him. Let McConnell's horse take a clear, or not a clear advantage, but a fairly, I suppose, decent pace, really. Like, he's a decent enough front runner, but realistically, he hasn't got the, well, he shouldn't have the capabilities of going hell for leather in this sort of ground now tomorrow. Low sun, I don't know, a Cesarewicz winner. It's hard to really know what way he's going to go. I think he's really gone backward more so than going forward, but I don't know. I just don't think he's going to have the leg in him now tomorrow. Then you look at the like of Sizen Potsy and Percy Warner. I think half a mile to a mile from home, them two are going to take on McConnell's horse, and they're going to start edging, I suppose, further and further clear coming around that final bend, and it's going to be a hell for leather battle between the two of them. Personally, I would be rather taking Percy Warner over Sizen Potsy, but neither of them are at a price that I'd be willing to take. I've gone with Percy Warner to beat Sizen Potsy tomorrow, and if that comes in, that's a 5-1 straight forecast. And my personal opinion, I think that's the way it's going to turn out tomorrow. Next race then, another patron tip. We're not going to spend a hell of a lot of time there. 2:25, my nap of the day, Julie Stowaway for Mags Mullins and Danny Mullins. This one here should be writing on the wall, basically. It's a heavy ground merchant, really, at the end of the day. It should be well capable of putting in a very decent performance. It was just very, very unlucky last time out. I think it was in Punchestown when it was beaten a neck into second. It should be well capable of putting in a very decent performance here. It should take all the beating, and I think 2-1 is very generous for the bookies to be offering it. 3 o'clock then, I'm personally going to go with the favourite here again, Brosna Rocco, for Stephen Gerard Carey, Peter Carberry and Tony Kilduff, the owner. Obviously, look at it was a very decent winner last time out, and it should be well capable of going forward and moving on to bigger and better things. It's been given a £7 rise, which has been very, very generous in my personal opinion. Like, it was really a runaway winner there in Tramore last time out, and if it produces anything of the same quality like it should do in this particular ground anyway that we're going to be meeting tomorrow, it should be well capable, and 9-4 is definitely another generous price. I'd actually go to the stage and saying that it's going to be my next best of the day. Should be well capable of putting this field to bed fairly quickly. 3:30 then, I'm going to go with Denise Foster's horse here now, Memory of Youth, teaming up with Sean Flanagan here. It's a combination you don't often see. It was a very good second last time out in Naas, behind who was it? One Night More I Hope, who was a runaway winner there that particular day. Since then, One Night More I Hope, look, it put in a fairly decent performance in Limerick the last time we seen it, but it just got outdone in the ground, basically. If this was a Memory of Youth puts up a similar enough performance, it's a poor enough field, and it should be well capable of beating this standard here. I wouldn't be going necessarily mad on it, but I think 6-1 is definitely the best price of, I suppose, the field and the best capabilities of said field. But I'm going to leave it there. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, subscribing. I leave a link in the description below for the likes of my website and the Patreon as well. The Patreon is €10 per month. Basically, what you're getting is 3 minds, myself, Dean Hegarty and Ryan Sharkey. We all come together and we all think alike, and we basically put our thoughts on paper, just basically to help, I suppose, your own opinion or your own thoughts. It's there to fund the Irish Racing Hour podcast, which we try and do our best to give back to racing as well, and give credit to people that might not necessarily get enough of it, basically. But other than that, I hope you all have a very good day tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have plenty of winners backed, and hopefully we'll be on the right side of things anyway. That's the way I hope. And some nice prices there, and hopefully we'll be in profit by this time tomorrow. Thanks very much. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, subscribing, and if you're having a bet tomorrow, the very best of luck.